So, welcome everybody. Welcome everybody. So good evening. Tonight is the 29th of September. It is 8:30 p.m. and this is the 90-Day Path to a New You Zoom call number 3. I'm so excited to have everybody on the lines tonight. It looks like we're well over 40 people on the line right now, so that's awesome. So there's lots of people that are really interested in hearing what we have to say, and just kind of look back over the last 30 days and to celebrate some of the accomplishments that have happened and to look forward to the next 60 days on this 90-day path. So we are wrapping up our first 30 days, and I know there has been a few challenges out there over the last 30 days, whether it be through fitness, through nutrition, mindsets, or just family life and scheduling. But as much as there has been challenges, and I've seen them on the Facebook post, there has been, so many more victories and successes that they far outweigh those challenges. And what's great about the challenges, though, is everybody's just being so open and so giving to share. And when you do that, everybody else learns from your struggles, and then they realize that they're not alone. So that's been awesome for everybody to be doing that. So in a few moments, after I get the call going here, we will be opening the lines up, and we're going to be sharing some of those success stories. And I can just see Francine; she's bubbling with success stories. Everything's going great for her right now, so that's so awesome. So we'll share some of those success stories and give you guys a chance to talk a little bit about your interim goals and what's been happening over the last 30 days, and how you're going to celebrate over this next week. Because really, that's what this week should be all about. It should be all about celebration, all about achieving your goals, whether you feel you've really achieved your interim goal or not. You still need to celebrate. You need to celebrate yourself. You need to celebrate life. You need to celebrate what you're doing and the fact that you're here today, still plugging away at this. So let's start with looking back over the last couple of weeks. So let's look at week number 3. So week number 3, we focused on fitness. So the first thing that we did is we ensured that our plan was realistic and that our goals were realistic with the time frame that we had to achieve them. So, but we have to remember, though, we still want to push ourselves, but we don't want to set ourselves up for an impossible feat and set ourselves up for failure. So something like, let's exaggerate here. You don't want to tell yourself at the beginning of your 90-day period, I want to run a marathon in under 4 hours, but right now I can only, do a run walk for 5 kilometers. Now, that's very ambitious that you want to push yourself that hard, but the reality is most people could never achieve something like that. So don't set yourself up for failure. Come up with some realistic goals, but make sure that they are a stretch or a challenge. So that in itself is a challenge to come up with a good goal that way. Then we chatted about the best way to see if your goals are realistic, and is what we're doing right now is you reach an interim point. So, we're at the 30-day point. We're going to look back and review over our last 30 days and see, are we making progress? Are we anywhere closer to our interim goal? And does it seem realistic with our present gains that we can get to our goal by that point? So making sure that you have interim goals. So, and as well with the interim goals is it's great because it means you get to reward yourself, and we all love to be rewarded. So absolutely reward yourself when you reach those interim goals. It creates a good mindset for you, because there'll be days when you will be struggling to decide, do I want to have that extra chocolate bar, or do I want to get up in the morning? But if you tell yourself, I'm going to reward myself at the end of this, there's a reward. You're much more likely to stick with the program and to keep yourself motivated. So don't forego the reward. Ingrain it in your head. You work hard, you get a reward for it. We're all like little puppies. We're all like dogs. We want a treat. So treat yourself, absolutely. Whether that's it might not be with food, though. It could be a day at the spa. It could be, it's more time with the family, but something that you cherish. So we also discussed about having a training partner. Now, for some of you, that seemed, and for even myself, that seems a bit of a struggle to find a training partner that can match your busy lives and your schedules, and it's in line with your goals. But if you can find one, it helps out so much with accountability. And the great thing about this amazing group that we have right here, you've got over 150 to 200 training partners virtually to support you. And I know a lot of people in this group are using the group as their support mechanism, that they're posting their challenges and their victories. When they say they're going to get up in the morning, they're posting it the night before, so everybody's holding them accountable. So that's exactly what the group is here for, is to keep everybody accountable and to just cheer you on. So use the group that way. That's so awesome. And then finally, to round out the week, I highly suggest that everybody incorporate some sort of resistance training into their physical regime. Even if you want to be a marathon runner, some sort of resistance training is good. for all of us, as we get older, our muscles atrophy. Our muscles do decay and deteriorate over time, no matter how much protein we're intaking, if we're not constantly having some sort of resistance. Now, I'm not saying you need to go to the weight room and start punching out 300 pounds like Tom is, or sort of like Greg is, but you need to have some sort of resistance training, whether even if it's just a body resistance, some sort of push-ups or sit-ups or air squats, something to help you build muscle. So that is very important, and especially as we get older, because we all want to have that lean muscle as we get older, and we can still keep doing the things that we want to do, and that when we don't fade away, but we just rocket into our elder years. So that was the third week, all focused around fitness, and I think we really nailed it down. There's a lot of great chat in the groups, a lot of great advice and suggestions on how to maintain that. So week 4, this might have been the hardest week for a lot of people, because then we started to turn into ourselves. In the beginning, it was about planning, it was about nutrition and fitness. Those are all things that we could write down on a schedule, or we could look on a piece of paper. But when we have to turn into ourselves and start to think, how do I want to change my mind over these next 30 days? I think it became a larger struggle for some people to articulate it, or to put it down and decide how they're going to achieve these goals. So we did have some chats about that, and it started off like most Mondays. We talked about planning. How are we going to plan to prepare ourselves for mindset? So what goals are we going to set for ourselves? Then we talked about whether we should all have some sort of a safe place, or a Zen place, or a place to go. A place that every single one of you beautiful people, all deserve a place that you can go that's just yours. Now, I say yours, maybe with the dog as well, but something where you can get away from the family, you can get away from everything, and you can think about the day, you can think about what's happened through the day, think about what's happening tomorrow, and maybe even for some of you, like men in the room or men on the Zoom call, go into that empty box and just think about nothing and just completely blank out, because, that's really what the goal of actually meditation leads you towards, that is to bring you to the point where you can actually think about nothing or one single thought, and that allows the mind and the body to relax. And then when you do have time to focus, you can hard charge it again. So we talked a little bit about that. For a lot of you, there wasn't traditional practice. Most people were doing things like listening to music in the car. That was their time. Or walking their dog. Hey, sweetie. Hey, Shannon. Walking their dog. Or doing things like that. Or just being out in nature, or going to the beach. Something like that is their time. And that's absolutely totally cool. And that's something very worthy. Something that I don't struggle with, but I have to remind myself every now and then, is for repetition and with positive mindsets. I think I'm a very positive person. I'm always outgoing and cheery, but saying positive things to yourself and about yourself on a regular basis. Because if nobody else is saying it, you might as well be saying it. So say it to yourself. Once you start to believe it, I absolutely believe that other people will start to notice it in yourself. So then there was the final part of my week that I absolutely loved. And it was where we practice our mindset exercise to be the shining light, to go out there and to be the light for absolutely everybody that comes into your life. Yeah, exactly, Francine, just to absolutely beam everywhere as you went, so radiant that people could not walk by you without putting a smile on your face. And I'm sure a lot of you, and to be quite honest, a lot of you posted back, that's who I think I am, and that's who I try to be every day, and that's absolutely so inspiring. But we can always crank it up. We can crank it up to the next level. Instead of just being the shining lights as people come to you, maybe there comes a point where you start going to other people and start looking for people that seem to be a little bit down and help them brighten their day. So that was an incredibly fun day, and the posts were amazing from that day as well. So that was the last 2 weeks. We covered a lot of stuff, and I think we really have ourselves set up for those first 30 days. So the week was definitely full of tons of energy and encouragement and excitement. So let's kick off this part of this call the right way. And I would like for some of you to share with me, or share with the rest of us, one of your interim goals, something that you set in the beginning, and you decided, okay, at 30 days, I'm going to see if I've made it. And if I've made it, I'm going to celebrate. So just in a brief moment, in 30 seconds, share with us what that goal was, what that interim goal was, and how you're going to celebrate. So I'd love for you guys to share with us. So physically, just put your hand up, and then I will unmute you, and we can share. And of course, the computer freezes the second I say that. Okay, now we're all moving again. Awesome. So Francine, unmute. Here we go.
I didn't have to reset that goal, though. My goal was to get 1 star before I got to ICU.
Yeah.
it happened a couple of days later, but that's okay. It was still a big deal. And a couple of my team members are here on the call. I can see Stacy and Kim down in the corner.
Beautiful, yeah.
So the week that I went 1-star, they broke through and they had crazy weeks. So Kim enrolled 4 people, Stacy enrolled 5 people. So they're on my Ice and Derby team. Like, they're just rocking it out. So it's not all me doing everything, but they are 2 of the prime reasons that I hit 1-star. Yay! And so, I mean, I can't get here myself, but that was really exciting. Obviously, I'm still a little bit on a high. I might be on a high for a little while. But
so what are you going to do to celebrate? What's your celebration? What's your celebration?
Baby? Gotta get myself to a spa. I might not meditate, but I might go on that Thursday night when you can talk and you're the DJ.
Yes, I totally agree. I can't imagine you going to the spa and not talking for a day. Awesome, thank you. And great true leadership form. The first thing she did was recognize the people on her team and her organization that supported her and helped her get there. That's awesome. Thank you. So if we get another hand up. Okay, awesome. Stacy, unmute yourself, please, in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen.
Okay.
We got you.
Well, I have always, I haven't been an overweight person, but, when you turn 40, you start to thicken up and stuff. And I started back in January and lost some weight, but I've never really been an exerciser. Since I was a kid, I guess. I did figure skating and soccer and all that, but I decided I was going to exercise, and I was going to start getting up every morning and exercising. And while I have not stayed true to that every day, because sometimes your body needs a break, I have done that. And I don't know what I'm going to celebrate with. Maybe I'll go to Le Nordique with Francine, but I've been doing that, and I have little biceps, and so I'm excited. And thanks, Kim, for giving me little workouts.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing, Stacy. And really, and don't get me wrong, the celebration doesn't have to be a huge expense. Where you're celebrating doesn't have to, break your bank. It can just literally be a dance in your office and a high five or a phone call with your best friend and just celebrate with your best friend. You want to ingrain that into your mind that, there is a reward for the effort that you put in. So we'll take one more. Can we get another hand up? Awesome. I know there's definitely some people out there that have some successes. Yeah, Dave, I'd love to hear from you. So if you just unmute yourself in the bottom left corner.
Yep, done. Hey,
awesome.
Jeff. Yeah, very quickly.
Gotcha.
My objective for this was trying to get to 30 days without being interrupted around here. And that was a pretty big achievement for me. So my interim goals was pretty much every week trying to get my milestone 6 days in. And I gave myself morning times and made sure everybody sort of understood that I needed some quality time to achieve this. Because the day ins and outs and the activity that we have around here was pretty challenging just to have my time to meet some of the physical attributes I wanted to accomplish. So my milestones were actually meeting my timings, which was put aside in the morning, at least 90 minutes to 120 minutes, and being able to achieve that, and then setting my physical goals within those. And I think I pretty much banged them on. There was a few times I didn't. And again, because of where we're at right now, trying to get the Isogenics products over here, I was pushing for it. So my goal was to get the products in country in time before the end of this, so I can get 4 cleansing days done. And I achieved that. So I'm finished my 4th cleansing day today. Well, it's Wednesday morning right now. So yeah, I'm doing that. So I high five myself. There are no spas out here in Cobalt. So I bank those treats that I'm going to be getting. I'll jump on a plane, head off to Dubai. And, and I'll really have my relaxed time. So it's been a challenge just to meet my time over here, but I've done it. And a lot of it was through the support of everybody, some chit chats, the high fives. And I really loved seeing the pictures and stuff from Bev when she's kicking butt on the Spartan. That brought back some great memories. So those type of things, those are awesome. So I think I did it all right. And I'm going to high five myself and pat my back. And
actually, high five you back.
Looking forward to my shake. Cheers.
Cheers. And I think we can all, maybe not with the same challenges that Dave is experiencing over there, but we all probably have the same sort of challenges trying to schedule the time, because once you get up in the morning, if you don't have your set time for you to achieve your goals, life takes over. And when life takes over, it's hard to get back and to achieve your goals. So awesome. So I am so excited about the next part. This is definitely going to be my favorite part of the month for the next 90 days or the next couple of months. I'm going to have an opportunity to call out and give a shout out to our Spirit Award winners for the group and for the 90-day Path to a New You. So most of you remember that we're running this group in 3 parallels. There's one group with Team Certainty, with Cindy and Darren managing that group and keeping them on track. And then, of course, we have Team Ice of Believers with James McAllister there, keeping them on track and making the posts and keeping showing the love. And then the Team Awaken Your Extraordinary, where I'm trying to harness you all this power in. So it's awesome. So each group had a Spirit Award winner. So that award went to the individual who was the most active, supportive, most engaging in the groups. And I am absolutely sure, I know this because I spoke to them, that Cindy and Darren and James as well had such a hard time picking an individual. Now, this is just speaking from me, my heart. I am normally a red, so I'm like, make a checklist, very analytical. That's our winner right there, bam. But to be quite honest, this was one of probably the biggest challenges. I think I'm becoming a little bit more blue. I didn't want anybody to win, but I wanted everybody to win because everybody's been such a great contributor and sharing so much and so compassionate with everybody that it was challenging. But long story short, we did. So we would like to announce those winners now. And remember, those winners will be receiving a $100 Visa card in the mail. I'll be sending it out to everybody. And to start off with, we're going to hand it over to Cindy so she can talk about her award winner in her group. So Cindy, over to you. Don't forget your mute there, Cindy, on the bottom left-hand corner. I think I can do you. There we go.
There we go.
There you go. You're awesome. I got you.
Yeah. Well, this competition wouldn't be happening if it weren't for Nancy and Jeff and Barb and James and Darren and myself. Darren's in the other room signing somebody up right now, which is cool. So I want to thank all of the leaders that are running this, first of all. So thanks, Jeff. I know how much time you and James are spending on this, and I really, truly appreciate that, okay?
Thank you.
So first off, you guys need that recognition and deserve it. So thanks for all that you guys do. I have like 5 individuals that I really want to recognize, but one of those people is going to stand out tonight. And it was really hard to choose, as you said, Jeff, because all of these individuals have given so much to Team Certainty in the last 30 days, especially. And there's people that aren't like that are part of all 3 groups, which I really appreciate the videos with Branka and Lori and all of us doing the push-up challenge. I really appreciate that. But these people are people that have been posting almost daily and have been adding great content to Team Certainty. And I just want to give a shout out to Ken Snook. Well done, Ken. Lori Clark, Michelle St. Pierre, Brianne Larson in Edmonton. And all those people have done extremely well with recognizing people, congratulating people. But when I counted up all of the people and all of the posts, and this took a long time for me to do actually, because there were so many great people in the group, one person stood out in particular, and she is on this call tonight. And I'm so excited to say who it is because she's a hardworking woman. She has 2 children. She's a manager at a chiropractic office, and her name is Lisa Brennan. Thank you, Lisa. Let's give her a big hand.
Nope.
So the Spirit Award for Team Certainty goes to Lisa Brennan for all of your posts. You congratulate everybody. You're on there daily, and I noticed, Lisa. So, thanks for all of your effort. It really means a lot to all of Team Certainty.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us, Cindy, and thank you, Lisa, for everything that you've been doing. And again, like Cindy said, to all the others in the group that have been participating so much. So let's keep the ball rolling. Over to James. I'll get you to speak of your Spirit Award winner.
Awesome. Thanks, Jeff. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, perfect.
Perfect. So like Cindy and Darren and yourself and Nancy, this has been a really good first 30 days, seeing all groups working together, really getting an opportunity maybe to interact with people that I haven't met before, just kind of see what they're all about, and as well for our group. Much like the rest of you, it was difficult to really nail down one person. But the person I'm speaking of tonight, not only do they post in our group, they seem to have a great ability to be in all three groups, to be the first one to really, address some of the concerns people have, but talking from a platform of experience, somebody that's gone through the ISO body more than once, twice, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Wow.
7, and I believe you're on your 8th. Is that correct? So this is somebody who talks the talk, walks the walk, but always has time to really help. So I'd like to present from the ISO Believers, but let's be honest now. This is a girl that's in all three groups and near to our heart. Our first Spirit Award winner would be Stacy Timmons.
Right on, Stacy.
Congratulations, Stacy, and everything James said there is so true, and so you're so well deserving. So we'll just keep all the ball rolling and move on to the Team Awaken Your Extraordinary. Now, I don't need notes for this individual because, to be quite honest, I was not going to give out this award to this individual because I felt like I've been around forever, always there. It's just kind of one of the rocks. I just, you can almost overlook them. But the reality is I can't overlook them in a moment like this when the recognition is due. So it's you, Renee, buddy. It's absolutely you. There's nobody I can trust more without any sort of prompting or without any sort of, it's certainly not my employee, but whenever I feel I've fallen off or I can't help out somewheres with posting, I come back an hour later and Renee's absolutely picked up where I left off because he's so passionately, and we've had these discussions, so passionately wants to make sure that everybody has the right answer, that they're looked after, that they're cared for, and that their voice is heard. And he really does believe that. And so I could not pass him by in this case. So I had to make sure that he was recognized. And thank you so much for what you do, Renee. We really do appreciate it, everything you do. Awesome. Okay, and give me 2 seconds. I am going to take everybody off mute, and I want to hear some group cheering. Yay! Cool, you're muted now. I got control. So remember, everybody, though, the Spirit Award, it will be awarded each month, and that there's also the grand prize waiting for you at the end of this for $1,000, $500, and $250 respectively for first, second, and third prizes. And those prizes are going to go to whoever sticks with their plan, achieves their results, and can document and can demonstrate to us, whether through video, whether through an essay, or however they can demonstrate us the best way that they can, that they really smashed these last 90 days and achieved their goals. Or if they didn't, maybe they struggled halfway through and they had to revamp their goals, but they still show that they stuck with it and they kept pushing forward. So there's definitely going to be 100 and some winners out there, absolutely. But not they're not all getting $1,000. Sorry. Okay, so there's that. So as I promised, as we always do, we'd love to highlight a few individuals to come on the line and to speak about their experience over the last 30 days and how they've achieved, ideally they've achieved their interim goals. They set a plan in place in the beginning, and then they worked for it. They might have had some hardships throughout, but they overcame those hardships and set themselves up for success. So I'd like to highlight 2 individuals actually tonight. So somebody from ISO Believers, James is going to bring somebody up, and then I'm going to bring somebody up from the Team AYE. And we're going to talk a little bit to them, just 3 to 5 minutes to share their story. And why I think this is so valuable is because I know these individuals, and I know so many of you are going to relate to their story. There's something in their story that you're going to go, oh, well, she did it, or he did it. Yeah, I can do it too. Or that's totally relatable. Just like that post way back when, in the beginning, when the first individual said, yeah, I cheated last night and I had something. And everybody, all of a sudden, the post went on for like 45 comments. Everybody's like, oh, I did too, I did too, I did too, I did too. And everybody was able to vent and release and then get back on track. But when you bottle that stuff up, then it's going to eat away at you. So these people are going to have something to share with you. So the first one, I'm going to pass it over to James, and James is going to introduce our next guest.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Jeff. So I'd like Jennifer Dan from lovely Saskatchewan to unmute herself. I can see you down in the bottom corner of my screen. So when you're ready to to talk. I'll be able to see. Oh, there you go. Perfect. So Jen's online. So
Awesome.
I'd like to introduce everybody to Jennifer Dan. Jennifer's out of Saskatchewan, a new mother. She started Isogenics about 2.5 months ago. What really struck me was it was just somebody that was positive and just allowed for the process to follow through. So often we get into our own heads, start to create a little bit of chaos, when really I think what attracted most of us to this organization or the company was the simplicity of the plan. We beat ourselves up over it. So when we talked about setting a lofty goal, and at this state right now, she's halfway there. So she's halfway to her goal already. So what I'd like Jennifer to do is talk a little bit about her journey, where she how she started, where she is right now, and kind of some of the things she's going to put in place to get her all the way to her goal. You there, Jen?
Yeah, I'm here.
Awesome. So yeah, go ahead.
I had started originally because I wanted more energy. This is my third baby, so I obviously needed more energy, and I wanted something more natural. And then after I had my baby, like any new mom, I wanted to lose that baby weight. And I tried numerous other programs before, and I lost weight, but I never stuck with it. I guess I didn't have the positive mindset that I could do it. I didn't believe in myself, I guess. So when I started Isogenics, I actually really loved the product. Even the shakes, the bars are all absolutely delicious, and even my kids actually enjoy them too. So knowing that my kids could have them made me feel better about it. And one of my daughters has a nut allergy, so there's a lot of things that she can't have. So it made me feel better knowing that she could have these too. So I am halfway to my goal, and I mean, I have struggled. In the beginning, I struggled with one of my biggest things is going out, and I live an hour out of Regina, so I always resorted to fast food eating in the city. So I had to make sure I had shakes with me and my bars and lots of water to help me with those temptations, so I don't resort back to those. And within the past 2 weeks, I've done really well with that. When we go out to eat, I make sure I have that resort to healthy protein and a salad and lots of water for that. Another goal I had was to go to the gym twice a week, but obviously that's been a little bit hard for me to do with a newborn baby. So I have made sure I've gone for walks with my 2 youngest kids every day, put them in the stroller, and for a minimum 15 minutes, I make sure we go for a walk. And then I have, to help also meet my fit goals, I've been doing squats. So it's one thing I incorporate at home, but one thing that has helped me with the weights for that is if my baby's been fasting, I've been helping him by doing the squats as well, and he's enjoyed them and it's calmed him down quite a bit. So far that's how it's been for me. And I mean, I have my package actually got lost a couple weeks ago in the mail, so I didn't have anything for 2 weeks. So I really struggled with that, and I finally just got it back last week. But during those 2 weeks, I really had to make sure that I didn't resort to any of my old temptations. I had to make sure I stayed really on track with my fitness goals. And then that's really when I leaned towards my husband for support a lot for that. So, and I was, I guess, starting to lose faith that I could do this, but I still stuck with my program, and I did make sure I did the Healthy Fit and Body Mind program every single day. And I think that's what's really helped me to stay on track for those 2 weeks and get back to my goals. So that's pretty much where I am at right now. Like I said, I'm halfway to my goal. I'm still sticking with my program, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for me.
Awesome, Jennifer. That is so good. So I mean, really, when you listen, and I think all of us are well aware of the healthy mind and body seems to be that unique addition to the program that allows for us to be accountable every day. It just seems to kind of go hand in hand. I love the fact that we get the emails, and if you're not onto it early enough, twice a day, maybe 3 times a day,
Yeah.
Yeah, they tie together. So we're so excited to have you on board, and as a group collectively, we cheer you on. And I'd really like to, just really quickly sum up in a few words is that the effect of being part of a group is that enhance the experience? Does that help you any along the journey?
Oh yeah, like definitely having the groups there, I guess keeps me accountable. And the support, like I need that support. So I mean, I couldn't do this by myself. I need that group support to be able to do it. Absolutely.
So, that's the challenge I pass on to everybody is that you now know your effect on others. So be interactive, be active, and the things that you're saying are absolutely affecting other people. Thanks so much, Jen, for coming on the call.
Oh, no problem.
And since this is a continued week of celebration, everybody, I want to physically see it. Pat yourself on the back. Everybody, pat yourself on the back because you are all, I'm watching, I can see everybody. You're not patting her. There you go. Pat yourself on the back. You're all contributing to the success of this beautiful lady. And we're all contributing to each other's success. So be grateful and be thankful for yourself. So I would like to now introduce our next special guest. She's a mom. She's a wife. She's an athlete, an entrepreneur, and now a newly created network marketer. And somehow she fits all this into her extremely busy life. And in every aspect of her life, of those things I've discussed, she excels at. So I think there's so much that we're going to be able to learn from her and her modus operandi. So got my notes. I'm ready to take some. So I'm going to hand the mic over to Branka, and she's going to share with us a little bit about her last 30 days and, again, her journey and where she's going. So over to you, sweetie. Once she figures out the mic. There you go. You're good.
Hey, thanks for that, Jeff. That was great. So yes, I've definitely had some lofty goals at the beginning, and some I was really confident I could achieve. And I had a few early kind of successes. Specifically, these were fitness goals, primarily for me. And, one of them was, being able to squat 40 pounds off the rack. And that's a really light weight for most people who do squat, but I have a back injury. And to me, that was huge, right? So, doing things like that, knowing I could, keep my injuries in check and still do them, those were exciting. One of the big ones was when Cindy came out with that 50 push-up journey to get back to what she was in army shape. And I thought, 50 push-ups. I've been in a lot of challenges, yoga challenges, squat challenges. Let me get on this with her for sure. What do I need to do? I'll just add a push-up every day. And in, 50 days or whatever, 25 more days, I'll be up to 50. Big deal. Not even close, right? So the first day I put it on video was the first day I'd ever tried to do more push-ups than a set of 12 reps, right? Like never tried before, right? I was so excited just to have those 18. And what I think we got up to about, 28, 29, and it was hard after that. It's still hard after that. And I didn't read about a training program. I usually meticulously schedule my workouts, what I'm doing, which body group, what time, how I'm going to do it. This was going to be one of those. And I think I was a little bit cocky going into that one, Cindy. I don't know about you, but that was hard. That is hard. We're in it. So, I did a little bit of reading and I realized that I'm going to have to rejig all my goals. And I had even written out, on my calendar, my daily calendar, 30 push-ups, 31, 32 every day. And just to have to scratch that out on my calendar, scratch it out was like, oh, this stinks. Okay, let's revisit this. And adding maybe 2 or 3 each week was more realistic. Adding more sets of push-ups to my chest workout each week and just resting in between, not doing them every day. That's just stupid, right? So that was a whole new, methodology for me. Hey, another one was I want to get down to 18% body fat because I've never had body fat that low. And I've only just started paying attention to that in the last 6 months. That's all nutrition based, right? We have all the tools, right? Easy. I'm out of the gate. I'm going to hit that 18% body fat, no problem. And that's how I kind of started, tracking everything every day. Everything I was planning to eat the next day, I had it in my Fitness Pal the day before. Planning my meals, prepping everything, writing it all into my calendar. I think I was spending 2 to 3 hours a week spread out just tracking everything, tracking and planning and tracking and planning. And, you know, I hit that 20% body fat. I think I was at 21.5, something like that, really quickly. And I was like, yeah, I'm good. And then a Friday night came with a bunch of junk food and some martinis, and I was not good. For the rest of the weekend, I was not good because I didn't plan rewards. I thought hitting the goal or reaching closer to that goal was the reward. But it hitting 20% didn't make any reward for me when I wanted to like just stuff my face with a bunch of crap and drink my face off, right? So I really decided to plan a Sunday fun day after that, and not to ruin my week. I can eat impeccably all week long. I don't want to ruin that on a Sunday, but I definitely let myself enjoy my Sundays nutritionally. I do work out on a Sunday, take Saturdays off, but I relax a lot more now. So I think that's something we all need to kind of work into our schedules if we haven't already. You've got to make a date with yourself to be able to eat what you love to eat, you know, some of it anyway. I think there's one more thing too I wanted to, did I go too long already? The tracking. Let me just talk about that tracking. I felt exhausted last week from tracking everything, tracking my calories, tracking my heart rate monitor results, planning everything in my day planner. I felt exhausted from it, so I didn't do it last week. My week went to crap. I forgot to do absolutely everything that was typically important. I didn't cook any balanced meals for my family. My kids were eating like meat and like whatever I had, you know. What's that?
Yeah, for him.
Oh. My kids were eating whatever I had. I wasn't able anymore to, track my workouts. I got really lazy. My 5 a.m. workouts that I've been working so hard to be consistent with, I missed 3 of them. You know, I slept in. I mean, it had all just, I forgot about my Wellness Wednesday posts on the team page. I mean, I forgot everything. So all of a sudden, that exhausting tracking that I was so kind of sick of doing became very valuable to me. And it was great. It showed me that investment of time, and it's not 2 hours in one window, but over the week, it probably is 2 or 3 hours, had this monumental value to me. Because if I just spent this extra time doing that, I knew I would hit every single goal. And we're talking about follow-ups with cleansers. We're talking like every aspect of my business and my family life. So, I mean, these are the things that I've learned anyway in the last 4 weeks and where I've fallen off. So I think I've relaxed a little bit on the goals. Yeah. And I'll be able to hit those eventually, but it doesn't all have to happen in the first 4 weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Bronca. And so I literally was taking notes. There's a couple of things that I thought are very key from that you brought up that are great for everybody to really hoist aboard. One is the bell curve. So a lot of us will go in full of piss and vinegar for our targets, and we're going to go in and we're going to have these amazing gains at the very beginning. But traditionally, you just can't keep up that sort of trajectory forever. There's going to come a point where it's going to start to get a little bit harder, and you're going to have to get up over a hump. But that will happen. You're going to get up over that hump, and then all of a sudden it's going to get easier. So maybe for you, we'll say 50. Maybe at 25, you do 25 and 30, you hit that hump, and you have to slow down for maybe 30 days, maybe 15 days. And you're stuck. And then once you break through that, things will start to get easier. And the next, 20 or 30 are going to become easier. So just know that that's just the way the human body works, and that's the way life works. I think in most cases is that things start off a little bit easy, then we struggle. But if we keep struggling, we keep pushing, it's going to get easier again in the future. There's that. And then just the planning that I think we've covered this to death. And I think we're going to continue to cover it to death over the next 90 days to keep reminding people. If you find you're not achieving your goals or you're not hitting your targets, you're not staying on track, it's because you're not tracking yourself. You're not following your plan. Make the plan, stick to the plan. If you're all over the place, it's because you haven't made a good plan and you're not sticking to it. So thank you for sharing that and giving us, how you've kind of diverted off a little bit and then are bringing yourself back and how your plan is bringing you there. So those are some great shares. I think we all learned a ton, of course. And so what I'd like to do next is just wrap up the call with an amazing portion of the call. And last week, I know I don't have them with me right now, but I've got my omega-3s. I'm doubling up on those bad boys all the time after James's advice. And so we'll see what he has for us today to talk to us about. So what do you have for us, James, to share to launch us into the product portion of the call?
First of all, happy coffee day to everybody. I know your time is valuable, so we're going to do a product call tonight. We're going to talk about there's a myriad of great information, but what I need everybody to understand, and Bronca had a great point. She was counting calories, and everybody looks at macros. So your macro is your proteins, it's your carbs, and it's your essential fats. So last week we talked a little bit about your essential fats. So what I want you to do is I want to think of your body as a sponge. And the macros are getting in there and they're making the sponge somewhat wet, and you're continuously putting those macros in the body. But you're also using that to burn, to create fuel, to lose fat. Where people fall off a bit, and the omegas are a perfect example, is those micros. The B's, the C's, the D's, the E's, all those little things that have a momentous effect. But the problem is that, one, you have to take the vitamins, and two, you have to be consistent. So you consistently take your vitamins twice a day. What will happen is, and I mean, I've been guilty of it in the past, where I'll take them for a couple of days, then I'll forget them, then I'll take them. What happens is that sponge.
Did we lose him?
You guys still there? I'm losing you. Al can just keep talking anyway.
You're good. Did you disappear again? How you doing, James? You there? We give him a few more seconds. You can come back in. Okay, so awesome. I think there's what James is going to share with us is going to be amazing. But we will probably, I can get him to write up a little bit of a blurb in a post, and we'll post that out there in the next day or so. So you'll have that information. He's wanted to talk about the micronutrients, so about multivitamins and how they're incorporated into our lives and how important they are. So it's not just the carbs and the proteins, but it's all the little things that are really the building blocks of life that help the proteins and the carbs break down and create the energy that we need. So he's going to share with us a ton of great information on that. So I'll get him to do up a post on that. But all in all, I think we're done. So we're going to wrap up this call. I know a lot of people have some other calls they need to get onto for Derby calls and things like that. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Thank you so much to all the Spirit Award winners. Thank you so much to everybody else that has contributed so much for so long and kept us going. And I love you all. Take care. I'm going to take off the recording now. Have a great night.